Welcome everyone, welcome. I'll be with you in one moment. Un momento. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Hey, just while I'm getting ready, if you could let me know where you're calling in from, your name and where you're calling in from. I'd really appreciate that. And be with you in 1 sec. I'm just getting myself set up. Hope you're all well. I haven't been on the page for a little bit, and I do apologise for that, but it's been for good reason, which I'll share with you. And hopefully the connection's better. I have recently got my internet connection upgraded, so I'm hoping that it's all working fine. Let me know if it's streaming through okay. Cool. Welcome, Beth. Welcome over in Wisconsin. Appreciate you joining us. Just gonna find my cup of tea. Okay, welcome. How's everyone? Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it very much. I never know where to look on this phone, but I think I've got to look over there. So, welcome. I appreciate you joining me. Today, we're not going to do any painting today, but we will be doing live stream painting shortly, starting next week. But today, I just wanted to talk to you about just a couple of little things, some announcements and some things that have been going on. I'll just tilt that up just slightly because I'm a bit tall. So as we get started, let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're watching from, because I always like to know where everyone is in the world. And ask me any questions or leave me any feedback as well, because I want to make this interactive, right? So I've been talking for the last few months about doing live stream video, and I had problems with my internet connection. That's pretty much resolved now. And we're about to start doing regular live stream very shortly. So what I want to hear from you guys is the internet connection working okay? Is it streaming through okay? So if you can just let me know yes in the comments, I would greatly appreciate it. And then I want to tell you in this brief live stream today, I want to tell you about a new course that I've been working on. And I'll walk you through that and show you some of the paintings that we did in that new course. And I want to tell you about some really big news, which I wasn't going to announce until either later this week or early next week, but I will let you in on what I'm up to and what I'm doing, because I think it's pretty exciting, and then we'll make an official announcement next week. So you guys on the live streaming are going to get like the news ahead of time, which is exciting. Obviously I'm not doing any painting today, but I am going to start live streaming very soon. So if you could let me know if this is coming through okay, I'd appreciate it while I sip on my cuppa. And okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is I've been on the road for the last, well actually no, I'll tell you that at the end. So let's talk about the new acrylic painting course. Watching in New Mexico, thank you Sharon, appreciate that very much. Jose, my friend, thank you very much for tuning in from Arizona. And Beth, coming through good, fantastic, thank you guys. Cheers, Jose. Hope you're well, my friend. We must talk soon. So, what I've been doing is I've been working on a brand new course, which is the acrylic painting techniques course, designed for beginners and those just starting out, and for those interested in landscape painting. So, you know, the traditional sort of landscape approach that we take here at Moore Art School. I've just finished putting on the finishing touches. Hey, Graham, how you doing, my friend? I hear you and your father have been having a bit of a good time in the States. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, the brand new course. So what it is, it's acrylic painting techniques for landscape, and it's designed for the absolute beginner to learn how to use acrylic paint effectively with the different elements that you might find in a landscape. So what I've done is I've broken it down into different sections. What do you find in a landscape? We have skies, you have mountains, you have trees, you have buildings, and all the other little elements that go into a landscape painting, right? So I've broken it down into all those different steps, and we've done a module on each of those elements that make up a landscape painting. So this is really designed for the beginners, and it goes hand in hand with my acrylic painting introduction course, which we released probably about a month ago now. And I know a lot of you have already been through that course as well. So this is a course that goes hand in hand with that other course, and I'll share with you how to get access to that shortly. I just want to walk you through some of the paintings that we do. So in the first module we do skies, right? And I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible so that somebody who's never picked up a brush before can come along and do this course and go, well, you know what, now I know how to paint a landscape painting in acrylics. So the first thing we do is skies, and we start off with just a really basic gradient, like a blue sunny sky day. How do you get a nice gradient from, you know, your dark values at the top, and as you get towards that horizon, because the sky sort of goes away from us towards the horizon, how do you get that lighter value and have a nice gradient transition? Now in acrylics that can be a bit tricky, right? Because you don't have the time to really blend the paint as much as what you do in oils. So you have to work in the right manner in order to be able to make that happen. So just a nice graded blend of the sky, just create that blue sunny sky. Then how do you put some simple clouds in there, right? So obviously this is not master level painting, this is beginner level painting, but this is where everyone starts out. It's where I started out, and you know, everyone starts in the same place learning the basics. Then we transition from that into using the same approach, gradient sky, but this time we put some glowing sunlight in there, like a rising sun in the morning, silhouetted against a little headland with some palm trees and things like that. So everything's a building block, you know, like you learn one technique, one aspect, and then you layer onto that the next technique and the next aspect. So that's what we're doing here progressively. Then more of a setting sky. And you know, these are quick little sketches, so they won't take you long to do, but they'll help you get to understand what do you need to do to create effective looking landscape. So we do a little sunsetting sky, and then a big stormy sort of cloud with rain, you know, falling down in a dust sort of setting. So that's the first module, is skies. And I'm just going to walk you through each of the modules just so you can see what type of things that you might put into a painting. So then when you come back from skies, g'day Shelley, how you going? I got your email about you moving, so I hope that all goes well. Thank you to everyone who's joining us too, I appreciate it. So what do you paint after a sky? Well, usually in a landscape you can have some sort of mountains of some description. So first thing to understand is aerial perspective. How do you create a sense of depth and layers into a painting, right? Well, there's different techniques of doing that. First one is values. Pardon me. So you can see here I've got my distant mountain is the lightest mountain, and we get darker as we come forward. So, you know, values is really important to create nice layers and depth in a painting. But the second thing is temperature. So in the background, we want our coolest colors. As we come forward, we start to warm up those mountains and make them a warmer and a darker value. When you understand that, you can paint terrific looking landscape. My apologies, I've had a bit of a cough the last few days. Then the next mountain range that we do is the Bob Ross style, because one of the questions I get all the time is, how do I paint Bob Ross style mountains using acrylics, right? Bob Ross has got the magic wire and the particular palette knife and things like that, which you could use in acrylics, but I'll show you a really simple way of doing it just with a brush. Creates a similar sort of effect, And you can paint those alpine mountains quite easily. Then we go into nice rolling hills. Now the area where I live, I'm surrounded, very luckily, by beautiful beaches on one side, and then the hinterland, the mountains, and the rolling hills where I live are just beautiful. Like it's dairy farming country in parts. How do you paint rolling hills in layers, right? So that's what we're going to do in the next step there. I do apologise. Hopefully I won't choke live on Facebook. Then how do you do rocky escarpments? One of my favourite places to go and paint in the world is a place called Kapiti Valley in New South Wales. And it's all these rocky escarpment mountain faces. And I should walk you through briefly how to do a simple approach, again designed for beginners, right? A really simple approach on how to paint rocky escarpments. Then we come to the next element that you'd find in a landscape, which is of course trees. Now the way I approach showing you how to paint trees is not to show you every single tree that's out there, right? Because the important thing about painting trees is there's a simple approach. And if you understand the simple approach, then you can paint any tree you like, right? If you get a reference photo, and a really important thing to do is get reference photos for everything. So if you've got a particular type of tree that you want to paint, get reference photos for it, right? But if you understand the approach that we will teach you in this course, then it makes it a lot easier. So the approach basically is, first of all, get your shape in and to use, blocking your darks and getting the shape of the tree right. Then painting your midtones and then your highlight tones, okay? So basically I start off with a gum tree here, Australian eucalypt gum tree, and I'll show you that approach, your darks, midtones, and then your highlight tones. Then we look at cypress and poplar trees, everyone's favourite, the palm tree, the willow tree, which mine looks like a bit of a hairy monster, but in the right context, right? Birch trees in a sort of a winter setting. So we look at all the different trees, but really, you only need to know the one approach, then you can pretty much paint any tree that you want to with that approach. Then we go and look at something which I guess is a little bit of a struggle for a lot of beginners, pardon me, and that is how do you paint landscape elements like buildings and so on. So, as with everything I do, I start off with a really simple approach. So we start off doing a really simple little cottage, sort of face on, get a little sense of the light hitting it on here and putting it into the right setting. So we start off just really simply understanding what do we put into a cottage. Then the next step then is to take that and start to turn that into more of a 3D model. Okay, so then we've got it on the side here, we've got a dark side that's in shadow. We've got the light source coming from over here, just clipping into the side here, and light on the roof. So we start to build up the elements of how do you paint houses and cottages and so on in your landscape. Then we go to something a little bit more complex from a reference photo, and I've got lots of different reference photos for cottages and farmhouses and things, which one of my favourite things to paint. So I'll include those in the course as well. But a great little painting subject when you understand how to paint cottages and farmhouses and so on. So that's the next module. And then finally, what we do in the final module is we paint this little scene, but basically what I do is I just block all the main shapes in first, and then I'll show you little elements in the landscape. So how do you highlight distant trees? How do you paint in grasses and fields? How do you paint in pathways, driveways, things like that, using the right composition, so using an S structure to it. How do you do your fences, gates, posts, and I don't know if you can see it here, but I've put in a little clothesline here. So little details like that that really bring a landscape painting to life, right? It gives it a sense that there's life here, that there's people living here, that there's things going on in the landscape. And I think that's a really important part of landscape painting is to, one of my favourite painters, Robert Hagen, Australian landscape painter, well, not a landscape, but he paints landscapes with figures in them. And what I like about the way he does that is that he brings a sense of life to the paintings. And so these little details indicate that there is life, that there's things happening within these settings. And then how do you put in more of a foreground tree? So all of that's covered bit by bit. So we build up these elements and we layer them together bit by bit in the 6th module of this course. So that's what we cover in the course. Now, the new course is called Acrylic Painting Techniques for Landscape. As I said, it's a beginner level course. So if you've been painting for a year or two, then it may not suit. But for those of you just starting out or looking to improve your technique, be a great little course to get. And what I'm going to do, underneath this video after I finish live streaming, I will put a link there where you can get it for a huge discount than what it's going to be once it's fully published. So look out for that if that's of interest to you. If you're a Learn to Paint Club member, then you're going to get this for free. And if you take the $1 trial on the Learn to Paint Club, then by the end of August, then you get this course and the course that goes with it, which is Acrylic Painting Introductions, right? So those two courses go together. And if you take the $1 trial by the end of August, then you'll get both of those courses included. This course is about 4 hours in length, so it's quite detailed. And the other course, Acrylic Painting Introductions, is 3.5 hours. So you're getting about 7.5 hours worth of beginner level training on how to paint in acrylics. If you take the $1 trial by the end of August. So again, I'll put the link under this video, or if you want to go and do that now, it's www.learntopaint.club, C-L-U-B. Okay, so learntopaint.club, and if you look up on the menu, there's a join link there for that. Okay, so 2 great courses. I know people have been through the first course, absolutely loved it, and it's got great reviews so far. This course will be the same, I think, because it's very similar in style and structure to the first course. Excuse me while I drink my cuppa. I've just had this really bad throat for the last week. I don't know why. So that's that course. I'm really excited about that. I've been working on it for the last month, and I'm really excited because I've finished. No, I'm excited because it's a great course, and I know it's going to help a lot of beginners, which is what I'm all about. Now, the other big news, which I've been alluding to for a few weeks, members of the Learn to Paint Club and those who are doing my More Certified Instructor course are already aware of what I'm doing. But for the rest of you, I've been sort of alluding to what I'm doing, and I wasn't going to make the announcement until next week, but because you're here live, don't tell anyone, but I'll let you guys know. So about 2 weeks ago, I went on the road, took my camera, and I went down to Byron Bay, which is a beautiful part of Australia. It's the most easterly point of Australia, and started filming new locations, new subjects, and so on. And for good reason. So if I just backtrack a little bit, about 5 years ago, my wife and I, we made a TV show called Plein Air Painting TV. And some of you may remember that. Some of you may have seen episodes of that as members and customers of More Art School. So thank you very much if you are. So we made this TV show, Plein Air Painting TV. It was broadcast all around Australia and New Zealand as well, and it was very popular. But there was a few challenges with creating that show, doing it outdoors and things like that. So then a year or two later, I created a second TV show, which was called Yes You Can Paint TV. And that was broadcast all around Australia as well on community TV. Again, there were challenges with doing that show, so it made it difficult to repeat it. And over the last, so that was probably, would have been 3 or 4 years ago. So it's been a few years since I've been on TV in Australia, or anywhere for that matter. So I've decided to do a brand new TV show, and that's what my big announcement is going to be later this week, early next week. A brand new TV show, but this time it's going to start as an online TV show. So it's going to be a weekly TV show. It's going to be online, and my goal is to take it from online and then develop it into a TV show for commercial broadcast, initially in Australia and then around the world as well. But I'm going to need your support and your help in doing that. So before I rush out, because my personality, right, is I get an idea and I rush out and I do it. So the day I got the idea to start Plein Air Painting TV, I'd only been painting for a year, and the day I got the idea, I started putting it into action, and within 2 months we're on TV. not the best strategy, right? So this time what I'm going to do is take a different approach, and I'm going to develop it as initially as an online TV show, and every week I'll release a brand new episode. Plus, so that'll come out on Mondays, and then probably on Thursdays I'm thinking I'm going to do a live stream where I'll actually demonstrate painting as well. So every week you're going to get access to an online TV show and a live stream of me painting, and it'll all be on a brand new website that I'm going to release later this week, early next week. So I'm really excited about it, because what I'm going to do is, as much as possible, I'm going to go out on the road, find a subject to paint, I'm going to film it, I'm going to take photos, and then come back into the studio and we'll paint it, right? So the TV show is, the way I'm going to do it, g'day Tracy and Conchilo Trillo, I think. Hi, thank you for watching, and thank you everyone else who's tuned in as well. So the way I'm going to do this TV show is that to do a really good quality painting, so this is going to be slightly more advanced than beginner, it's going to be more your intermediate style of painting subjects. I want to make it just a little bit more advanced. So if you're a beginner, then come and take these courses to get yourself ready to be able to follow along with the TV show. But the way I'm going to do it is, for me to do an intermediate to advanced painting, it's going to take me an hour and a half to 2 hours. But unfortunately that format doesn't work for broadcast TV. So I'm going to edit that down into 25-minute episodes each week. So what's going to be freely available on the new website is going to be the 25-minute version that's designed for TV. When I go to that next step and I take it to broadcast TV, probably early 2018, when I've got the format right, I've got the subjects right. So I'm going to be looking for feedback from you guys on how do I improve the show, what do you like, what didn't you like, and so on. So, if you can, as you watch each episode each week, let me know, did you like this, didn't you, what would you like to see more of? And with your feedback, we'll refine the show, and then I'll get it ready to a point where it can be broadcast on TV. So for broadcast TV, you've got about 23 to 25 minutes for a half-hour segment, right? So for a half-hour segment, they've got to have time to put the, the news headlines, the ads, TV ads, and so on. So I can only really make it go for 23 to 25 minutes in length. And that's what we're going to then produce each week, and that'll be readily available for anyone to watch at a brand new website, which I'll announce later this week. For those of you who are Learn to Paint Club members, your membership just got better, because every week you'll get the full length episode. So if it takes me 2.5 hours to do the painting, you're going to get the whole 2.5 hour episode every week. It'll be a little bit unedited, because if I'm scratching my head and drinking my cuppa halfway through a painting, you're going to see everything, right? If I'm taking time to clean the brush, you'll see everything. But I think that's good, because when you're learning to paint, you can sometimes get the wrong idea about what actually goes into a painting. So I'm going to show you from start to finish everything that goes into completing the painting subjects that we're going to do. So I'm really excited about it. Look out for an announcement from me probably Friday or Monday, one of the two. I haven't decided yet, but it'll be one of the two. There's going to be a brand new website, which is going to be just for Learn to Paint TV each week, and also for the live stream. So every week, as much as possible, I'll have a set time to do the live stream starting next week. And every Monday, the new episode will come out of the Learn to Paint TV show online. And with your help, with your feedback and so on, I will then develop it even further. We'll refine the approach. We'll make sure we've got the lighting right, because there's, to create commercial quality TV, we have to have the lighting right, the cameras right, everything has to be right for them to be able to, to accept that. So I'll be looking for your feedback as to whether we've got it right or not. And when I feel probably early 2018 that, hey, we've got the format right, we're ready to go, we'll then take it to commercial TV. And I know, because I've already had 2 TV shows broadcast all around Australia and New Zealand in the past. I know what they're looking for. I know how to, I've got the contacts. I know who to go and speak to get it back on TV. I just want to make sure we get the format right, and that, that we produce a much better quality TV show than what I've done in the past, when I was maybe more enthusiastic than I was prepared, if that makes sense, right? Which is probably my nature, but nevertheless. So that's what we're doing. I'm really excited about it. Now, if you're a Learn to Paint Club member, you should be happy about it, because You're going to get every week now a full-length episode of what we produce for Learn to Paint TV, plus some of the other bonuses and so on. If you're not a member of Learn to Paint Club, but you want to get access to all of those episodes every week, then you can take the $1 trial for the Learn to Paint Club, and from next week you'll start getting full-length episodes. But you'll also get access to a ton of other projects and other bonuses and things that are already in the Learn to Paint Club. So I'll put the link underneath this video, so look out for that. But most important, look out for our email, our announcement of the official launch later this week or early next week. I haven't quite decided whether to do that on a Friday or on the Monday, but we'll work it out in the next day or so. So look out for that. And you know, what I'd love is to get your feedback on the new TV show. You know, I'd love to, as you watch it each week, I would love to hear what your thoughts are, what you liked, what you didn't, the type of subjects that you want us to do more of or less of. And as much as possible, we'll try and accommodate everyone's feedback and ideas and suggestions for the show. If you've got ideas for locations, then, you know, as much as possible, I'll go there and I'll film them. So at this stage, location-wise, it's going to be limited to the east coast of Australia, obviously. But I also have a ton of photo reference material from my travels around the world. And I will, you know, some of the episodes will be just from a photo of, you know, here I was in Paris and we're going to do this subject. So there'll be a bit of variety in there and some interest. We'll be using the Moore method of painting, so it'll be the same process that you've already learnt through our courses and our projects, only we're going to take it to the next level. It's going to be slightly more in depth. It's going to be beyond that sort of very beginner stage. It'll be more intermediate. But if you're a beginner, don't worry. You know, we've got plenty of courses to help you get up to speed and get ready for that. So I'm excited. Look out for an email from me later this week, probably, about the official announcement, and I'll send you the links to the email and to the website, all of that type of stuff, and it's going to be exciting. So thanks for watching. Underneath this video, I'll post the links for those who are interested in getting the new course. I'll give you the links for that, and for joining the Learn to Paint Club. Otherwise, look out for the brand new Learn to Paint TV show, which will be online initially, but we're going to public TV, broadcast TV in 2018, so very exciting times. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers for now.